fragments from the periphery of the African spiritual and cultural system became Christianity. And when the Protestant broke away in the 1500s, the Ethiopian church was already 1,000+ years old. Had nothing to do with Protestant Europeanism. When the Catholic Church was founded in the 10th century, the Ethiopian church was already 500 years old. Has nothing to do with that. Though some people try to make it appear that we borrowed it from them in that form. No. If you look at how we look at the arrangements and our referencing the divine and our relationship to divinity and the elemental understanding of how to build human character so that it imitates divinity, you get a good sense of what African culture is really about. A lot of us practice the Yoruba culture, some of us the Igbo culture and others, but none of them have any think over the other. Each of them are groups of African under certain circumstances at a certain time in history trying to work this thing out. Yoruba have done an extraordinary job. The Igbo did an extraordinary job before they were attacked, defeated by the British. If you look at the Igbo, for instance, who didn't have the kind of the royal kingship that the Yoruba had, the Igbos their power resided in the sacred groves. When the whites figured that out, they just burnt the whole damn forest down in order to destroy the sacred groves of the Igbo people. And so that dismantled and disorganized the people because they had violated the sanctity of what these people believed and thought they knew. With the Yoruba, they tried to capture the king and capture the palace and stuff like that. But these people were not doing it for any religious reason. They were doing it for basic human greed, envy, and jealousy. When they came into Africa, if you read some of the documents they sent back to Europe, telling them what they had found, cities that was laid out in grids. They drew pictures of some of these cities. If I showed you slides, it'd blow your mind. They talked about the walls that people had built, the beautiful palaces. And then 2 centuries later, they're betraying us, the barbarians hanging from trees. And it gets crazy. And then because we don't know our history, we get to thinking that's the way the deal was. What the African says is that all things are expressions of aspects of the divine essence having your peculiar experience. So when we talk about voodoo, there was no religion called voodoo when we left Africa. That's a new thing. Let's get that straight. And so when we think of this voodoo, you got to be careful to learn how to rephrase and recast the system of worship that we engage in. And say, let's just take Haiti. Involves elements, loas. Those elements is a reference to the forces of nature and cosmology as interpreted and understood by our ancestors through experiences. So when we see the drawings that they call veves, that is some ancestor, some of our great minds' interpretation of a cosmic energy formation that responds to a certain vibration, be it language, music, or some other rhythm form. And so we paint what we perceive to be the representative instrument of that elemental energy vibration. You understand? We have something we call Orishas. And they actually, people think that Orishas are persons. But Orishas are not persons. We use anthropomorphism to symbolize concepts, ideas, and principles. Orishas are concepts, ideas, and principles that represents forces and powers in both nature, in the human, and in the cosmology. To the degree to our ancestors understand how to define them and isolate them, and to understand their function and how to have a relationship to them. That is the degree to which we create a theology around and about them. That's African sacred science. But most people would not even deal with our sacred science as sacred science. And we don't study enough to defend the integrity of our institutions. There's nothing that even borders on our ancestors' sacred science and an understanding of how this world works. No institution, none of them. They're all primitive compared to the depth at which we understood.